You very much. Hi, everybody. For those of you that I haven't met, I am Kelly Moss. I am Head of Compliance at the Wine and Spirit Trade Association, and I'm also Secretariat for the Retail of Alcohol Standards Group. With me today, my colleague Hardish Purewell, who is the Licensing Manager for Tesco, and she is effectively my boss when it comes to Retail of Alcohol Standards Group because she is the chair. So for a bit of background information, the Retail of Alcohol Standards Group, which if you don't mind, I will shorten just to RASG, just to save my voice a little bit. It's a committee group that is run by the Wine and Spirit Trade Association. So the Wine and Spirit Trade Association is a trade association, and we represent over 300 businesses that produce, import, export, transport and sell wine and spirits in the United Kingdom. And the retail members of the WSTA make up the Retail of Alcohol Standards Group. The sort of fundamental focus of RASG is to promote the responsible retailing of alcohol, and we do this in various different ways. If you go onto our website, you will see that we have lots of different guidelines available for people to download for free. I think the thing that we are most well known for, I suppose, is Challenge 25, which is what I've been asked to speak to you about today. But we also consider ourselves to be somewhat of sort of leading experts in the licensing legislation when it comes to retailing of alcohol. So we deal a lot with the Home Office and other government bodies as well to offer them our advice and assistance, whether they ask for it or not sometimes. So again, just to sort of give you a bit of an overview about RASG, we were formed in 2005 and tasked by the government to come up with some sort of way of improving, which was in fact reducing the number of underage sales that were taking place at the time. And so in 2006, we launched Challenge 21, which was adopted both by the off and the on trade, very successful in reducing the number of underage sales that were taking place. But we did realise that it wasn't really addressing the issue of underage drinking. And so in 2007, we launched the first community alcohol partnerships. So community alcohol partnership is where sort of interested bodies, sort of health professionals, schools, local retailers within a community all get together to address underage drinking within their community. To sort of further reduce the number of underage sales of alcohol, in 2009, retailers voluntarily sort of upped the buffer for age checking from 21 to 25. Most on-traders, so pubs and restaurants, stuck to Challenge 21, but from 2009, retailers or the off-trade adopted Challenge 25. I suppose the only other sort of You'll see that we've got lots of dates on there for guidance, the guides that we've produced. But I suppose a significant development within RASG for us came in 2019, sort of in the with the aim of ensuring that we were still representative of the retail sector as a whole. We expanded our membership to include WSTA online retail specialists, so your virgin wines, your naked wines, they joined, and then a couple of years ago we also got Uber Eats into membership as well, so we've got a rapid delivery service as well. So that's sort of all in the aim to ensure that we remain sort of representative of the retail sector as a whole, not just the sort of store-based retailers. So Challenge 25, that's what we've been asked to talk to you about today. So I'm sure that most people know what Challenge 25 is. When I say most, I should think everybody knows what it is. It is what it sort of says on the tin. It's a proof of age scheme where if you look 25 and you want to buy alcohol, which was the product it was primarily designed for, then you should be aware that you will be asked for proof of age when you sort of get to a checkout. I suppose the fundamental reason for it was to reduce underage sales of alcohol, and it was sort of hoped that this would sort of lead to a whole societal shift, you know, where people who did look young and who were going to buy age-restricted products were expecting to be asked for alcohol. It would become the norm, you know, people wouldn't get offended, it would just become part of life. I'm going to buy alcohol, I'm going to have to prove my age if I look under 25. It's a very simple process, as well as sort of displaying posters to show that you are following Challenge 25. Staff are trained, managers are trained as well, because the fundamental basis of Challenge 25 is that if you are asked to prove your age and you cannot do so, then the sale will not take place. And so if a cashier makes a challenge, they will or should always be backed up by their line manager. Just to show you sort of a few of the designs of the posters that we've gone through. So some of these are before my time. So from what I could find on the system, the first one around 2006 when it was launched, obviously was Challenge 21 because we didn't go to Challenge 25 until 2009. A huge great thing, bonus, I don't know, I can't think of the word, but in 2023, so last year, the National Police Chiefs Council formally recognised Challenge 25 and officially endorsed our material, so we can include the NPCC logo on all of our Challenge 25 materials that are relevant for England and Wales. We can't include them on our Scottish posters because the NPCC do not operate in Scotland, and also Challenge 25 is mandatory in Scotland, where in England and Wales it isn't. So Challenge 25 posters, the official Challenge 25 posters, are available on the RASG website. They are available for free, so there are businesses out there that will charge you for these posters, but there really is no need to pay for them because you can download them and use them from the RASG website. So the way you access them, we have a map of GB, and then if you clicked on the Scottish materials, the posters under there would be relevant to Scotland because the fines and the penalties differ from those in England and Wales. Similarly, if you go to Wales, you've then got the materials in Welsh language if you wanted them. Yeah, so please feel free to go on these. These are the sort of the official industry approved posters. We did have a big relaunch at the end of last year because of the NPCC endorsement. So our aim is to try and get consistency in the posters that are being displayed throughout the country, because quite a few retailers have got the original posters and are sticking with them. So as part of that repush, I contacted every single Trading Standards Authority in Great Britain and forwarded them all of the free materials that they needed, as well as sort of key primary authority contacts as well. So although originally designed to tackle underage sales of alcohol, Challenge 25 is so simple that in reality it is being applied to all age-restricted products. So it doesn't matter if you sort of don't sell alcohol, you just do national lottery or something, you can still apply the Challenge 25 principles. The RASG website only holds posters relating to alcohol, and we have a general poster for which just says sort of age-restricted products. But we do work closely with the Association of Convenience Stores, and if you go on their website, you will be able to access posters relating to all of these products here. They have not yet updated all of the sort of individual posters. I did the lottery one because we were contacted by the National Lottery, which is why that one is sort of updated. The others will be updated in due course. And that is me. It's now time for Hardish. Thank you.
Actually, one of the brilliant concepts of like Think 25 is that it is such a simple process, and often, believe it or not, we get asked to talk to kind of international groups or talk to, across Europe or wherever, just to kind of explain this concept and how simple it is for kind of our teams. So I just wanted to kind of just very quickly talk about how this operates in stores. So, a customer kind of presents with alcohol at a checkout. The alcohol kind of gets scanned, then there's a checkout prompt that comes up, because actually sometimes you get products that actually don't look like they should be age restricted. So if you think about some of the cans, they may, our cashiers won't always know that that's an alcoholic item. So a checkout prompt comes up, which reminds the cashier to think 25. There's a date of birth there, which they then check it against. And then it's yep, are they old enough, or no, they're not. So they refuse the sale. So the steps are quite simple. You stop, because the checkout prompt gets you to stop. You assess the person's age, like do they look under 20, if they look over 25, fine, the sale goes through. If they look under, then they've got to ask for ID. So that's the next thing. So they ask for ID, and then they check that ID, and then they make the sale. So the approved ID is, generally like a passport, driving license, a pass card, and then armed forces card. And generally when we get conditions on licenses, we also add in and anything else approved by the Home Office, because actually, as things change, you don't want to have to go back to your license and have to kind of change them all either. And I know earlier in the past, Andrew, I think you were talking about sometimes there's complaints about pass cards not being accepted. Now, there are some conditions on licenses that will say, actually, you're only going to accept the driving license and the passport as well, which is completely, very different to what we get asked by the Home Office to do, for example. So again, when you're checking the ID, you're looking for whether it's been tampered with, whether it's fake, whether some lovely child has put the date of birth on, or tried to kind of pencil it on so that we don't realise that it's a fake. And then, like I said, we kind of make or refuse the sale. So on online deliveries as well. So this is always the greatest, I guess, contention for like government bodies. It's like, how are you selling alcohol online? And actually, it's kind of the same process. So when shopping is delivered, there's a checkout prompt on the handheld device telling our drivers that there's alcohol in that basket. And again, same questions. Do they look under 25? We do that. Oh, has that gone backwards? Oh no, sorry. Same kind of process. Check the ID and then deliver the alcohol. Now, if the person can't prove they're over 18, then the alcohol kind of gets delivered back to the store. And that's kind of across the board. So that's from the vans that deliver shopping to the motorbikes to the the Uber Eats process that we have. It's kind of written into the contracts that they will follow Think 25. And then just around support for Think 25. So Kelly talked about training. Yeah, absolutely. Training is done twice a year, sometimes more if it's required. And that training is around age-restricted sales. And actually, a lot of businesses have just done Think 25 for everything. So even, like the 16 products, like the energy drinks, that's everything is kind of Think 25. There's also, a bit about the intoxication, like if somebody's drunk, how to spot someone that's drunk, and we should, we should stop those sales. So that checkout prompt, even though it's mainly for Think 25, also prompts our cashiers to check for somebody that's drunk. Again, we talked about how to check for ID, also managing conflict. So as you probably are aware, that a lot of the issues that we get is because we're refusing the sale of alcohol. So it's like, how do you deal with that conflict when it's like one-on-one, when there's somebody's kind of being quite aggressive towards a cashier. And, we have policies like you say no, we say no, so that our store managers will also always support the cashier, even if they think, actually, they look about 30, but it's like, that's our own internal training issue, but we will never undermine the cashiers. And there's a lot around customer service, around how to deal with difficult customers, how to kind of get them on side early on. So it might be like, bring your, go and get your ID. I'll keep your bottle of vodka here while you go and get your ID and come back to me. So trying to kind of calm any situations down. And then we also support with all the signage that Kelly's talked about around the store, so customers and our store teams know that, the premises are operating a Think 25 policy. Then we also have audits as well. So our auditors are Serve Legal. They come in, they send in 18, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds to try and buy alcohol to see if they get checked for ID. And then there's a whole load of kind of steps that need to be done by the store if we fail one of those audits. And also the returns. So again, when it's online shopping, the returns are made really easy, so that it's not a difficult process. And then really thinking about the future for Challenge 25. And I guess with all of the new stuff that, you kind of see bandied around, like how alcohol is going to be sold in the future. So, shops is going to be maybe a smaller part in how kind of alcohol is obtained. And, and you see the kind of robots there as well, which, we did some trials in Milton Keynes where robots were delivering alcohol to kind of premises. And often, and now in stores, you see people going through self-service a lot more. And again, the process is just as robust because there's a block that comes on the checkout. I'm sure if you've been shopping, you'll know, it's like somebody's got to come over and just press a button to prove that, that they've seen you and that you're kind of over 25. And I guess some of the questions around digital ID and how is digital ID going to work? Does that mean that actually the need for Challenge 25 will completely go away? Because if in a QR code, and if that, if it follows all the framework and it's a trusted QR code, our cashiers won't even see whether, as long as we trust that QR code, and that QR code is scanned and it's saying they're old enough to buy alcohol, then our cashiers won't even see whether that person is that. But we've got to trust that QR code to do its job so that we can do our job. And then there's a question of where all the liabilities kind of lie around all of that. And it's all, it's all untested at the moment. So that's it. Are there any questions for myself or Kelly? Great. Thank you.